The story begins in the year 2150, when the US government receives news that a satellite in space has malfunctioned. They send a superhero named Miracle to investigate the situation. As soon as Miracle reaches space, he sees countless small fragments of the satellite floating around, and right there, an alien spaceship stands ready to attack him. But Miracle has full confidence in his abilities and decides to take a selfie before dealing with them. Suddenly, he realizes that these small fragments aren't from a satellite. They are actually miniature alien ships preparing to wreak havoc on Earth. At the same time, a superhero named Techno hears a loud explosion and tries to contact Miracle. But then he sees Miracle falling unconscious from space. Techno quickly flies and catches him, but just then, his jet runs out of fuel, and both of them start plummeting toward the Earth. They decide to call the other superheroes for help. Next, we see a girl named Missy waking up and watching the news on TV about the attack in space. Her father, Marco, is the leader of the heroics group. Missy tells him she doesn't want him to fight in this war. After her mother passed away, Marco had promised her he would never go into battle again and would only work from the headquarters. Marco makes the same promise again, and after dropping her at school, he heads to the heroics headquarters. There, Director Ms. Granada is about to decide which heroes should be sent to fight the aliens. She considers Shark Boy and Lava Girl for the job. But when Marco informs her that the number of alien ships is far greater than expected, Granada decides to send all Earth superheroes together. She also wants Marco to join the team, but he refuses, keeping his promise to Missy. However, he knows he must think about the world's safety above all. Finally, he agrees and takes out his special katana. Meanwhile, at school, some girls ask Missy to help retrieve a ball stuck in a tree. Missy replies that even though she's a superhero's daughter, she has no powers. After the girls leave, two people approach Missy and forcefully take her to the heroics headquarters. There, she meets Ms. Granada, who tells her that whenever a superhero goes on a mission, their children are kept safe in an underground fort so that the hero doesn't have to worry about their family. Missy is also sent there. Ms. Granada instructs all the kids to remain calm and leaves. But as soon as she's gone, the kids start breaking rules and causing chaos. Miracle's son, Wheels, notices Missy and introduces her to the other kids and their powers. A girl named Ojo can draw pictures that come to life. Capella has extraordinary sound-based powers, and Wildcard has every power imaginable, but he cannot control which power activates and when. After seeing everyone else's powers, the kids ask Missy about hers. She hesitates and changes the topic, asking them to turn on the TV to watch the fight between the aliens and the heroes. On TV, they see all the heroes advancing together while thousands of aliens prepare to attack. Miracle charges forward to take revenge, but an alien strikes him so hard that he crashes into a building. The aliens gang up on Shark Boy and slam him into a TV station helicopter, eventually capturing him. Meanwhile, Miracle is also taken captive by two alien ships on a rooftop. He tries to escape, but he is completely drained of energy and is captured like Shark Boy. When Lava Girl sees her husband in this condition, she uses her powers to destroy the alien ship, but her fireball accidentally hits Techno, injuring him. As a result, the aliens capture him too. One by one, all the superheroes are captured, leaving only Marco to face the aliens. Although Marco is the leader, he knows he can't fight an entire alien army alone. He bids Missy farewell via his bracelet and charges into the alien army, only to be captured like the rest. After all the heroes are gone, the president appears on TV and announces that they've received a message from the aliens. They want all humans to surrender, or they will destroy the Earth. The humans have only 3 hours to comply. After the president, Ms. Granada appears on TV and declares a lockdown, instructing all children to stay in place. But Missy doesn't listen and tells her friends they must escape before the alien attack begins. Wildcard asks how she knows an attack is coming. Missy shows them a picture drawn by Ojo. When Wheels had been telling her about everyone's powers, Missy noticed that all of Ojo's pictures came true. She realizes Ojo can predict the future through her drawings. Missy shows them a drawing that reveals the aliens' plan to enter through the ventilation ducts. They need to escape quickly, but they are under lockdown, making it difficult. They consider warning the guards, but the guards don't believe the kids. Missy assigns Guppy to handle the guards. Guppy, the daughter of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, has immense strength, incredible fighting skills, and control over water and other liquids. Guppy defeats most of the guards, and Noodles, using his elastic powers, knocks out the last one. They take the access card from the guards, but one of the guards manages to press the emergency button, locking all the doors and alerting the headquarters. Now they can't do anything, and moments later, the aliens enter through the pipelines and capture Wildcard. To save him, Missy tells Rewind to reverse time. Rewind does so, and Wheels stops the guard from pressing the alarm. They all escape before the aliens arrive. Noodles stretches his body to look like an adult, but the guards still recognize the children and block their exit. Wildcard points to a hole in the ceiling. Missy tells Capella to use her soft voice so that the headquarters staff float in the air. Using the staff as a human ladder, all the kids climb to the roof. They use the stolen access card to release a cable car and escape the building. But outside, they find several Heroics employees blocking their path. To get past them, Capella uses her powers to lift the cable car into the air. However, it is about to crash into a building, and she cannot change its direction. At the last moment, Noodles swings from a pole and diverts the cable car. A bit later, Capella starts having trouble breathing, so they decide to hide. Missy suggests they go to her grandmother Anita's house. As they are about to reach, Capella loses her voice entirely, and they crash land in Anita's garden. After meeting them, Anita says there are only 2 hours left before the alien attack, so they must start intense training immediately, as Earth's fate is now in their hands. Soon, their training begins. Meanwhile, Ms. Granada discovers Missy's special bracelet and tracks her location. The superhero kids train not only in fighting skills, but also in working as a team. With just 1 hour left for the alien attack, helicopters sent by Granada arrive. The children escape through a secret tunnel, while Anita stays behind to distract the pursuers. Inside the tunnel, Missy uses Ojo's iPad flashlight to find the way. She plans to reach the alien's mothership. But upon seeing Ojo's drawings, she realizes that one spaceship is already nearby. They find it hidden and wait for the aliens to exit. Then they quickly run to the ship. Just as an alien is about to catch one of them, Noodles stretches his arm and saves the child. Before the alien can reach the ship, they lock the door and fly towards space. After some time, they reach the mothership and decide to find their parents. But before that, Wheels warns that Missy's bracelet has a tracker, and that's how Granada found them. Now they must locate Marco too. While searching for their parents, they hear strange sounds from beneath the floor. Suddenly, aliens burst through the ground and attack. The kids flee in panic and find a door. They reach the center of the ship, where a giant pyramid stands. They saw that the president of the USA was walking around, discussing the alien attack with some other people. After the president left, Granada came out from behind and praised all the children for their bravery. Granada said that just minutes after they escaped, the aliens had attacked the headquarters. Had they not fled, they would have been captured right then. Hearing this, all the kids were very happy. But then Wheels noticed that Granada's vitals weren't like those of a normal human. At the same time, Ojo showed a photo which revealed that Granada was also an alien. Right then, the president arrived and told Granada that the kids had found out the truth. Granada then revealed her true form and ordered the arrest of all the children. They were all captured and locked up in a high-security prison. Now they had to find a way to escape at any cost. So, they decided to use Guppy's powers. But there was no water anywhere in the prison, so she couldn't do anything. Then Missy told all her friends to cry so that Guppy could use their tears. Missy asked everyone to imagine never seeing their parents again. This thought made all the kids sad, and they started crying. Missy collected all their tears and gave them to Guppy, who used them to make a key for the prison door. Finally, they were freed and got out. Now only 18 minutes were left before the alien attack. Missy told everyone to head toward the large pyramid to stop the attack as quickly as possible. But Wild Guard didn't agree. He said they should first rescue their parents so they could fight the aliens. Wild Guard refused to go with Missy and instead took Facemaker with him. Facemaker had the power to change his face into anyone's. After walking for a while, they reached a corridor and soon began to argue. Then they both went separate ways. Meanwhile, Granada had seen them fighting via the camera and decided to capture Wild Guard because he couldn't control his powers, meaning he could accidentally destroy the entire spaceship. Wild Guard tried to use his various powers to open doors, but soon Granada and her men captured him and took him to the interrogation room. Meanwhile, the rest of the kids were searching for the pyramid in the ship when aliens surrounded them. But Missy didn't panic. She took the lead and gave everyone orders. First, she told Capella to sing loudly, which burst the eardrums of the aliens. Still, they managed to capture one of the kids. That's when Guppy activated her shark mode. She turned into a terrifying form that no one could stand against. Guppy, daughter of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, used her powers to free rewind and beat up several aliens. Soon, Wheels sped up his wheelchair and told Noodles to stretch his arms. Then Wheels hung onto Noodles' arm, and his wheelchair slammed into the aliens at full speed. But the aliens still got back up and used their long arms to pull chains from the ceiling and arrest all the kids. Now Rewind tried to go back in time using his powers, but the handcuffs stopped him. Then, to help his brother, Forward combined his power with Rewind, and together they went slightly back in time. This time, Noodles pulled down chains from the ceiling and used them to tie up the aliens. Finally, they reached the large pyramid room, where Wheels was about to reprogram the spaceship's central control. But before he could do anything, an invisible force field appeared around the pyramid to stop him from reaching the control center. Noodles couldn't understand who activated it since no one was there. Just then, a voice came from behind. It was Ojo. And then it was revealed that Ojo was also an alien. On the other side, Granada entered the interrogation room with her men and started questioning Wild Card about his group's mission. But Wild Card refused to speak. Suddenly, Wild Card's voice echoed from the loudspeaker, claiming he was already in the command room. Granada was confused and thought it was a prank. But the truth was, the boy sitting in front of her wasn't Wildcard. It was actually Facemaker. After splitting up from the group, Wildcard and Facemaker had swapped clothes and then pretended to fight in front of the security camera. At that time, Granada didn't realize their faces looked the same, and she mistakenly captured Facemaker, while Wildcard had already reached the control room. Ojo also found out about this and asked when they made this plan. Then Missy revealed that when they were going through the tunnel at her grandma's house, she saw on Ojo's iPad that Ojo was also an alien. She immediately told Wildguard, and together they came up with this plan. Only 2 minutes remained before the attack on Earth, and Wildguard disabled the pyramid's force field so they could stop the attack. But Ojo wouldn't let that happen. She took out her pen and started drawing aliens. Suddenly, the things she drew began to come alive and emerge from the iPad. Missy and her friends got ready to fight them head-on. Meanwhile, Wills got to work deactivating the timer. On the other side, Granada and her men entered the control room to reactivate the pyramid's force field. But Wildguard stood in their way and said he wouldn't let that happen. Granada asked how he was going to stop them. That's when Wildguard revealed that he had now learned to control his powers. He flew into the air and electrocuted the aliens with strong lightning bolts, then froze Granada like an ice lolly. Near the pyramid, Missy and her team spread out in different directions. Missy asked Guppy to make ninja stars from water. Then she told Noodles to form a slingshot with his arms so they could launch the ninja stars at Ojo's monsters. Now Guppy was out of water, so Wills pointed out that the pyramid was made of liquid metal. Guppy used it to create a monstrous shark that devoured 2 monsters in one bite. But Ojo wasn't one to give up easily, so she kept making more monsters. To fight them, Missy told Noodles to make a rope across a chasm, then walked across it to lure the monsters. As soon as the monsters stepped on the rope, Missy told Noodles to let go. She began to fall into the pit with the monsters, but at the last second, Noodles' long arm grabbed her and pulled her back up. Everyone was safe. Then Wheels gave Noodles a circuit plate to insert into the ignition chamber at the top of the pyramid so they could shut off the timer. But Ojo, trying to stop him, created a monster arm that knocked the circuit board from his hand, and it fell into the pit. Noodles tried to grab it with his long arms, but couldn't reach. One boy jumped into the pit to retrieve it. With only 40 seconds left before the attack, the boy managed to grab the circuit. But now there was no way to bring him back up. So Missy contacted Wildguard and asked him to teleport there. In a few moments, Wildguard appeared and rescued the boy from the pit. Finally, Noodles inserted the circuit into the chamber just in time. The entire mothership began to shake. Suddenly, a hole opened in the center of the pyramid, and their parents emerged from it. The kids were confused, so Missy asked Ojo what was going on. Ojo revealed that the entire alien attack had just been a test to see if the kids could work as a team and face such challenges together. It was all a training session to prepare them for becoming future heroes. Finally, Ojo said they had all passed the test and decided to work with Missy and her team to help the weak across the world. With this deal, land appeared over the pit, and in the end, all the kids happily hugged their parents. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.